Hi, we're here with Kevin Landry from New Horizons Computer Learning Center. Just finished a podcast with Kevin, and he said something prior to the podcast that really struck me as interesting in a new business that they've gotten themselves into. Talked about active shooter mitigation. Kevin, tell me about that. Tell me what got you into that and what's it all about?
A few years ago, actually, the day of the San Bernardino shooting, that happened in the building next door to our location out in San Bernardino.
Okay.
And we had people from that location in our facility for a training session that day. And we were very familiar with the businesses over there that were involved. They were clients of ours. So our office was on lockdown. It shook us to the core. I remember I was driving to a luncheon meeting with my bank, and I'm listening to this on the radio, and I'm listening to the location. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's my parking lot. And
Wow.
I called out there and realized that what was going on very quickly. We spent the rest of the day obviously trying to stay in touch with what was going on and making sure our people were safe. We found out later on that we lost some friends in the shooting.
Mm.
The following morning I was walking the dog, having a discussion with one of my coworkers who was with me, and we were chatting about the event. And I was expressing my frustration with how we don't have any opportunity in terms of preparation to deal with something like that. We read about it, we're shocked by it, but we don't do anything about it. And we're a training company. We train people on all kinds of things. We train people on internet. We train people on IT technology. We train people on leadership and development. We train people on sexual harassment training. Why can't we train people on what to do if there's an emergency like this?
Mm-hmm.
I spent the next 4 to 6 weeks writing a business plan on active shooter mitigation, how you could train people on this. I talked to tons of people that were made available to me through my network of friends, people that were Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, retired Mossad agents that had worked security for LL at LAX. And I was expressing my desire to come up with some type of open enrollment training where I could reach the masses as opposed to just a private event for someone that would really care about this. We spent 6 to 9 months finalizing a business plan and coming up with some content and developing a presentation. And it was a neat opportunity for us as a company to present an idea to the management team and to some key contributors and give them the why for and how comes of what we were going to do here, and give people an opportunity to work on developing the business plan, working on the curriculum development, working with the talent that did this because it was different from our normal business, but translating it to what we did as a training company. We had a lot of fun doing it, a lot of frustration doing it, but we went live. It took us about 9 months, but we were able to go live. We now go out there, we present to people, we do a half-day course that could be open enrollment where we'll have people from 10 or 12 different companies in a room. We present them a 4-hour overview of training, of video, of exposure to real world and things that they could have looked at, things they could have thought of differently. And the intent is to really get that individual to say, this is fantastic, it shook me to the core. I want you to come prepare a plan for us for our facility. And then we'd come out and we'd spend a couple, 2 or 3 days at the facility looking at the physical logistics of it and the operation and the surrounding areas. And we'll come back with a very customized active shooter mitigation plan for that company at that facility and present it to the management as well as to the employees of that company to expose them on what to do. And hopefully that becomes part of their onboarding for all new employees that come out as well.
That's really cool. Tell me how it's affected your day-to-day life now, knowing what you know now.
I sat through a lot of dry runs. I sat through countless discussions with people that were Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Mossad agents. I couldn't help but start to learn to think differently. It became something that I went, wow, I hadn't thought of that too. Now it's my second nature. As I was telling you earlier, I was in Playa del Carmen on vacation a couple years ago. Sat down at a dinner, walked into the restaurant, they surveyed the area, and they said, well, how about this table? I looked at it and I said, how about that other table over there? I just was not happy sitting in the open. I wanted something a little bit closer to the wall. I wanted to see the doors. I wanted to see the entryways. I wanted to see the exit ways.
So now your back's to the wall every time you sit in a restaurant?
If I have my way, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you think differently when you're in public. You hear a noise. you're just much more aware, much more alert. I tend to look at what would happen. It becomes a fight, hide, or fight situation, and you have to be prepared to do one of those three things.
Nice. Well, thanks. I appreciate the story. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Scott.